All right, well, we are at the Swamp Creek Trailhead. Once again, we were just here last year. We are going out with Jesse. You can see the Woo-mobile is here already. So we're going to try to make it up to Buck Lake. Word is there's snow up there, over a foot, maybe 2 feet. Going to gear up here. We're just going in a little bit for this first night, kind of linking up with the rest of the group, and then we'll push for Buck Lake in the morning. We knew Jesse would already be at camp with the fire going when we got there. We linked up with Sara at the trailhead and hiked in together. When we started out, the weather was fairly nice, but we knew that thunderstorms and bad weather were on their way. We just hoped that we could find Jesse and get set up before it hit us. We found Jesse and immediately got an introduction to Blitz, his new dog. As we were setting up our hammocks, the first booms of thunder shook the valley and sent us into overdrive trying to get our tarps up before the rain hit. By the time the rains did arrive, we were all set up. Jesse had built a great fire and had plenty of coal, so there was no way the rain was going to put out the fire. We settled in and weathered the storm till the wee hours of the morning.
Well, good morning. Day 2.
Slow start to the morning. Rained really hard for hours last night. I was soaked through, but I'm pretty dry now. So the goal is to make it up to Buck Lake today. We know there's snow. We know there's at least one stream crossing that could get pretty wet. But yeah, so far, the forecast was bad weather. And it's one of those, we came out anyway. And for a while last night, it was bad. Then it stopped. And this morning, it's really pleasant. We've had a great day around camp so far and playing it by ear like always. Good morning out here. It was a lazy morning around camp. The late start meant that it was going to be very hard to make it all of the way into Buck Lake. Eventually, it was time to pack up, start moving up the trail. See where our tarps were. Been a very wet spring this year, and the creek was running much higher than it was last year when we were here. It rained on and off as we hiked up. All right, back in the Cabinet Mountains wilderness. First wilderness of the year. Come down to this campsite we stayed at and take a break. On the other side of this gulch, just probably hang a right, and there should be a little trail. We intended to just take a break, but we ended up camping there. It was a great spot. We opted for stopping and making a camp and trying to get a fire going to warm up. Well, we have been at this camp for a few hours now. It's rained off and on the whole time. So we're thinking the plan tomorrow is we're gonna get up and try to make it into Buck Lake from here. It's gonna make for a pretty full day of hiking. Get back to that fire though. It's a little wet out here still. There was plenty of wood around, but the rain kept coming. We had to constantly feed the fire to stay ahead of the water. Good morning. Morning, day 3. We're not going to Buck Lake. We have decided that we're going to hang out in camp, play some games. I'm most likely going to win. And yeah, take our time around camp and then walk the 4.5 miles out, get a burger.
Jesse, what's your opinion?
About not going to Buck Lake.
Yeah.
And yeah, we gave it our best shot, but unfortunately the weather the weather one. And as Travis always says, the mountain has its own ways. So today, the mountains win. Yeah.
It's not always about the destination, sometimes it's about the journey.
Our goal for this trip was to make it into Buck Lake. But a trip's success is not just making it to a destination. Like Sara said, it's about the journey. It's about the place you're going, along with the people you're with. The weather had made this into an adventure that in the moment was a little miserable. Every trip we do like this helps us learn to be a little more comfortable being uncomfortable. And I know that now I'm just a little more conditioned to be able to deal with the bad weather.
That's going to turn into a symbol of fun.
That's not too bad.
All right, well, we're just pulling out 4.5 miles back to the car. And just like it has the whole time, it's raining on us. It's been a pretty decent morning as far as the rain goes, but yeah, it's starting up now. But that's the way this trip has gone. Sometimes that's the way it is. It has been fun. I have enjoyed it. Despite, the rain is just another challenge. And we come out here to be in the elements and be in the mountains, and rain is part of that deal. But now I'm ready for a burger. Let's go.